Hello, Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. Today, we are gathered here again to discuss on a very important topic, essence of language learning or elegance of language learning. One and the same thing. We have very important guests, very eminent guests today. The first eminent guest today present here is Meenakshi Mehra ma'am. She is the principal of Shri Chaitanya Techno Public School, Chennai. She has done a diploma course on early childhood education by Gauri Victoria from Open Australian University, master degree in arts, MS University Baroda, bachelor's degree in commerce, MS University Baroda, IMTT course, BTSM course, Mother's Pride, New Delhi diploma course on childhood, and many other courses she has done. She's a motivational speaker and certified speaker for IDVM group of companies and RKD companies, principal Shri Chaitanya Techno School, Zealand Private Limited, Vadodara academic auditor. She had been covering 50 plus franchisee networks in West Zone region. EroKids, principal and territory academic coordinator, West Zone with 200 plus centers. Ma'am, you have a very versatile, your profile. It'll be better you let us know about your own profile, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, Meenakshi, ma'am.
Good evening, welcome everybody. Good evening, everyone. And I would like to show my gratitude to all the panel members who are sitting there. I'm glad that I'm a part of this discussion. Good evening again. Myself, Meenakshi Mehra. I am hailing from the city of Gujarat, but now I'm here in Chennai. I am an educationist and I'm into education industry from past 11 years. And I am basically a curriculum designer, but now heading as a school principal. Pretty much, that's it.
That's great, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much for coming. Next, we have Jasjeet Kaur Jaggi, ma'am. She's the principal of Doon International School, New Chandigarh. Ma'am, she was the founder principal of the Mukut Trust International School, Rajpura. She's an alumni of Carmel Convent School, Rourkela, and Ravenshaw College, Cuttack, from where she pursued her post-graduation in econometers. Having a total experience of 21 years plus, she had superheaded Cambridge International School for Girls, Jalandhar. She's a certified IB and CIE educator, has worked as diploma program coordinator during verification and authorization of IB, is a registered auditor for education and has been conducting internal and external audit. She has received appreciation letter from Srimati Rani, Ministry of Human Resource and Development. And again, ma'am has have a lot of experience on her part. She had been a part of so many associations on national and international level. Again, as Meenakshi ma'am was also, and also received so many awards on national and international level. We welcome you, ma'am, and please let us know about your versatile, profile, please.
Good evening, everyone, and it's an honor to be a part of such an educated, platform sharing such or educationists. And sir, it's nothing like this. I'm a teacher by heart, and I love to die as a teacher only. I keep learning from everywhere and wherever I get a chance. So it could be from my kindergarten to anybody. So till I'm learning, my soul is getting food. So, and yes, over a period of time, with so many changes in the education system coming up, so we kept learning as per we first did, that NCF was there, then CCE came up, then now the NEP. So this is how gradually I'm learning, and I'm a part of education society. That's it. I want happy children. This is what I'm worried about. That's it. Thank you.
Amazing, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Nikita Kothari, ma'am. She's the principal of Arnodya Public School, Thane. Dr. Nikita Kothari is an academician with over 2 decades in academia, having been involved at taught levels, high school, middle school, higher secondary, and teacher training both. ECCED and BEd. She has received many awards from teachers, principals for various esteemed institutions, having successfully completed her Masters in Education and Masters in Childhood Counseling and postgraduate diploma in management. She is also recipient of the Best Headmistress Award awarded by their ex-education minister, Mr. Vinod Taude. Recipient of so many awards, a big list is over there. Ma'am is also, associated with so many associations on national and international level. It will be a big list to talk about. And also, she has received so many awards on national and international level. We welcome you, ma'am, and thank you so much for coming. Ma'am, you also please let us know about your journey as an educationist.
Thank you so much for such kind words, first of all, sir. Yes, it's been 27 years. I started my career as a pre-primary assistant teacher, and you're right. Now I'm working as a principal for Arunodaya Public School. Just some time back, we had an informal get to know each other. So I was a former principal for Narayana Techno, and this pandemic has taught us a lot to, be sharing and caring, talk to each other, hands holding, experiential learning, art integration, NEP, child counseling, and endless topics. I'm very thankful to you for inviting me for such a wonderful topic, and I would love to share my views on it. Thank you so much. Back to
Pleasure
you,
is
sir.
mine, ma'am. Pleasure is mine, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming, ma'am. Next, we have Lakpreet Chabla, ma'am. She is the principal of RK Senior Secondary School, Lucknow. And ma'am, because she is a neighbor of mine, because Kanpur is near to Lucknow, and I had been meeting her in some of the events happening in the Lucknow, and she's a versatile lady and has a lot of experience. And ma'am, it will be better so much, around 3 decades of experience she has. And ma'am, please let us know about your educational journey. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Good evening, everyone. And first of all, thank you, Chandok sir, for inviting me for this very valuable platform. Definitely, we are meeting with so many educationists here and we are learning so much. And like my intro is like, I'm educationist. I'm here to serve best to my community and my society. And this is my dream. And I'm fulfilling my dream with just chasing my more student success along with them. And that is simple dream of mine. I think is a every educationist dream to serve good citizen towards our nation. That's it's my simple intro, sir.
That's great, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Then we have Dr. Bhavna Kulshresht, ma'am. She's the principal of MIT International School, uh, Vasundhara, Ghaziabad. She is an academician, writer, inspirational speaker, a parenting coach, and a holistic life coach who is a versatile, dynamic, authentic, empathic, and well read. And she has a doctoral degree in English, dual master's degree in English literature and economics, a teaching degree, a diploma in system management, and has attended Harvard University for leadership training. For the past 28 years, she has been serving at top league Indian organization and has changed every life she touched. For dynamism and dedication towards work, ma'am was facilitated with Hindustan Times Women Award and so many other awards ma'am has had under her name. Ma'am, welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, please let us know about your educational journey, ma'am. And also, do you came into the profession by chance or by choice? Ma'am, you're on mute. Ma'am, you're on mute. And again, I'll also like to tell that ma'am is very famous on the YouTube channel. She I think you are putting up some videos and some thing over there, ma'am. Please let us know about that also.
All right, all right. Thank you, Mr. Chandok, for having me here. And let me, at the very outset, tell you that you are in the city of that you are in my birthplace. I was born in Kanpur. So that's why the moment I saw your profile,
Okay.
there was this connection. Thereafter, most of my schooling in my college I did from Agra, and currently I'm in Delhi NCR. I'm working with a school that's in Ghaziabad, but I stay in Noida. Earlier, I've worked also in Delhi school, so that's how Delhi NCR. And yes, as you said, I am posting certain contents now online. So thanks to the pandemic, that we have learned all the functional use of all the new age technology. And before the pandemic, believe me, I had never even tried a video call. I used to, very purposefully, I used to keep away from it. And come 2020, and we were all pushed into it, and now we are swimming so efficiently. And it's then during the pandemic, like most of the others, I experimented with the social media, and I'm doing some bite-sized content for social media on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which could be of benefit to students, to teachers, to parents, and to anybody who wants to grow. So whatever I learn, I share, and whatever I'm posting, I'm practicing it myself.
Amazing, ma'am. And thanks to the internet and technology which we are moving in, all of us started at so many things. Even I started just because of this
I know.
internet coming into being. Nobody was doing Zoom and all this apps. Uh, we were using Skype sometimes once in 6 months or 1 year when it was needed. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jaswinder Singh, sir. He's the ex-founder director of DesignMate, which is now Reliance Group company. He's the MD and CEO of Wordsworth English Language System. A 32 years of experience he has in the field of education, successfully run two edtech companies. He has worked as a consultant to the government of Bahrain through UNESCO, advised the government on the use of ICT in education, passionate edtech leader. Wordsworth is used by over 1 million learners annually through more than 3,000 schools and colleges. Launched the world's first Sanskrit language lab, also developed language lab for Hindi also. He is based out in Ahmedabad and Gujarat. Let me tell you, I'm telling you because you're not knowing that I met Sir in an episode where we were as speakers. It was like language learning lab. What is the use of that? But when I got into the depth of it, it actually I came to know that no, this is the need of the hour that we should have language lab for the students, or language learning is very important for the students, which basically we are running after the subjects, but we are not going for the language learning. So I requested Jaswinder sir to come for the few sessions and please guide us all that how it is more helpful to the children. Welcome, Jaswinder sir, and please let us know because you told us that you are from the other coding industry and all, and you came up in this. How did you came in over here, and what is Wordsworth Labs?
Thank you so much, and good evening, all the principals. I'm the only odd person out here. Though I have been a trainer, I've worked with Microsoft. I was an official outsourced trainer for them, and used to train people in different parts of Asia, other countries other than India. So what actually I started my career as an IT person. I started into coding, and then somehow teaching was something that I relished, and that's how I started working, getting onto the field of teaching. But I was doing IT training and things like that. That time we got a project with government of Gujarat. Modi ji was the chief minister there. Bhavna ma'am, I'm sure you would. Sorry, Meenakshi ma'am, you would resonate with that. He's a very dynamic person, and we were training the entire staff of government of Gujarat. We were asked to train 50,000 people on using simple IT tools because it was the first government which got everything online. That time he called and he said, Ki, what you need to do is you've been doing IT training, now you train people in English. And since I was into education, I was into content creation and all that. They said, okay, let's do that. So what they did was they said that you go ahead, train 100,000 people every year in Gujarat. We were very, very excited. But our excitement went off when he told us, gave us one more point. He said, if you are going to do the training, if you set up one center in urban Gujarat, two centers have to be set up in rural Gujarat. We thought, okay, what a big deal, let's do that. But lately we realized, ultimately, what happened is we realized that getting the right kind of teachers in the rural part of Gujarat was a big challenge. Nobody would want to go from urban part to the rural part. And that's where we thought of, using content, using support tools to deliver better than what a normal teacher would do that. Okay. So these people were people who were graduate, but not good at English, or they were teachers, but not being able to deliver properly. So we went on to develop software, and that is how I came into language. Otherwise, we were all into IT. Even today, I do deliver sessions on IT, and that's where we said, okay, let's get onto that. But lately, we realized that when you have to improve language skills, this should not be done when you're graduating or when you're out of college. It should be done during the schooling, and that's where we started our first lab. And Meenakshi, why I'm again telling you, the first lab was set up in Halol, very close to Baroda, right? And that was a Gujarati medium school. And why they needed this? Because they were a part of the QCI, Quality Circle India or something, where City Montessori may every year they used to do a lot. These students used to go there, and they used to actually face a lot of difficulty because everybody else would deliver in English, and these kids from Gujarati medium were not able to deliver. And we worked with them for 6 months, and it actually delivered the right kind of results. And that's where our journey of getting into this thing. And since I was into content creation for maths and science with the earlier company, I said, let's do that. And that's how this entire product came in. And then slowly over the years, first year trying to get 50 customers was a big challenge. Now we get 50 customers every second, third day, or maybe in a week. So what
Wow.
happens is people have realized, and we've realized, that technology can be used as a tool, not as a replacement, as something, because you can't get the I mean, you don't get the right kind of teachers everywhere, especially English. Okay. And what you need to do is you need to do with the teachers there. You can't import teachers. You have to develop them. So what this tool does is helps teacher develop and deliver better. And that's how the journey of getting into language. And today we cater to 1 million students. We work with around 4 governments, and we also work with the Indian Army. The entire army is trained by us through our trainers using the content and all that. So that's the story behind, what we do and how we do it. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Chandok ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I was listening to you, sir. There was some technical problem. It's amazing, sir. You have a wonderful, experience. You have spent it so many years, around 15 years. You are into this industry also, and you have done. You told you did a lot of research also on
50,000 hours. Man hours.
50,000 hours.
50,000 man hours.
That's a big observation you have done, sir. Thank you, sir. And welcome, sir. We'll talk further
Thank you.
also. Next round we'll have, it won't call it as question round. We'll call it as round of your opinion. We'll come up to Meenakshi ma'am. Meenakshi ma'am, I'd like to ask your views on the saying, what are the elegance of language learning, or what is the beauty of language learning? Why should language learning be done?
Well, learning any language other than the native, is a skill. This is what I think. And, not only many have that skill, they need to develop that skill. And speaking or learning any new language can be, a part of your personality, or it can change your personality. So what I've observed, lately is usually people learn new languages with a professional or, from a business point of objective, where they have to, there is some objective, then only they go and learn something new. Other than that, they don't, have the tendency, or, they don't even take a step also to learn something new. So, but if one tends to learn out the new academic, from academic per se, academic interest, they need to explore a lot about the other cultures, ideas, history, other than the language. Then only you can, have the elegance of learning that language, how it has come, where it has started. You need to know the history first before learning the language.
Amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Jasjeet ma'am, can you put some your enlightenment light on the topic? What is the elegance of language learning?
I totally agree with Meenakshi ma'am. Nowadays I've seen people learning foreign language because of some motive behind it, purpose. Otherwise they do not. And for me, learning any language, I keep telling my parents also, every language has some elegance. Since I know Oriya, I'm from Orissa, and I know a little bit of Bengali. I know Punjabi, it's my mother tongue, Hindi and English. So, but I've seen in my region where I stay in Punjab, people are more, they have a tend towards, or they want their children to know more of English. Now, why they want to learn again, Meenakshi ma'am, it's not the foreign language. It's only because it is globally renowned. People are, and they want their children to go, because this belt, everybody wants to go to Canada or UK, or right. So to clear the IELTS paper, they're taking English, as a subject.
Absolutely
And
true. Absolutely true.
yes,
Because even in English, what we are also speaking, it's not our native language. We are just speaking it because we were forced to learn when we were kids. Oh, you are
right,
English, you have to go to CBSE. See, if I am not okay, coming to that point, we don't even know why we learned.
right,
We
right.
learned
So
because of it. Yes.
yes, now I had an orientation few days back. So I'll tell you, I'll share, because when I was talking to the new parents, orientation for kindergarten, so I told we're going to be bilingual. So I could see the parents getting so over bilingual. No, no, ma'am, we put the child in international English hi karani hai. Bilingual nahi karna hai. They're not understanding that their child will speak proper English, or the language, love for the language will develop only if the child understands, comprehends what is being told to that child. आप English ही बोल रहे हो, the child is not understanding, isn't it? So every language I have seen, there is every language is elegant. I told the same thing to the parents as well, that you need to respect every language. What is the harm in Hindi and Punjabi? It's our mother tongue. Nahi, ma'am, English. Yeah, ma'am, French. Yeah, ma'am, Dutch. But only because they have some motive behind. It's not with with love or their interest, or they are, they want to learn a language. That's it. The sir is lost. The network issues.
So let me say something. Can I come in there?
We can go on and
Okay.
on. Surely, sir.
Okay.
Nice.
So, ma'am, what you said is exactly what NEP 2020 is saying today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's understand one thing, that bilingual or knowing more than one language it's a boon.
Yes.
What they say is a child by the age of 8 can actually
learn,
acquire
yes.
up to 5 languages. One.
Yes.
Second, if you speak more than one languages, your brain cognitive skills develop.
Yes.
It works better.
Yes.
The neurons work better. Third is, if I know more languages, I can connect with more people. So if I have to say, ma'am, kemo nache, you say khub bhalo, right?
Khub bhalo,
whatever the moment,
jani.
yeah, the moment I said this, you say, oh, connect ho gaya. मैं पंजाबी में बात को connect हो गया. I just connected with ma'am by saying
Sat Shri Akal.
With you I did Sat Shri Akal. With Meenakshi ma'am said Kemcho because she was in Gujarat. So what happens is language is the way to the heart of a person.
Yes.
It is a way of respecting the other person. It is a way of knowing the other person's culture and coexisting. दूसरी दुनिया में
I'll add one small point. I'm sorry interrupting, because what you are saying is absolutely correct. In NEP 2020, this is what we are focusing. The major focus on NEP 2020 is neuroplasticity, where the right side of your brain works more. This is what they need to tell, and especially to the regions. Yes, we all are connected with language because we are born and brought up there, and we feel connected to that land. I was from Gujarat, she's from Orissa, you are from Gujarat and Orissa.
I'm from Rajasthan. So language, it connects each and other.
To our land. So here, what the point is, like, where we come to know is the neuroplasticity, where I was talking. It connects with the right side of your brain, where your decision-making skills work more on, than the left side. So you're focusing more on the child to develop more skills rather than, mugging up and going in the exams and vomiting out. We are developing kids. So this is, yes, language is most important. And yes, you are correct. We are connected because of that one particular, thread that we have lost, that I was from Gujarat. Yes, I got connected immediately. And she is like from Odisha and she's from Rajasthan. Definitely will be connected to that.
May I come in here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, I was listening to you all, and yes, I totally agree. The moment you hear your own mother tongue or your regional language, there is a connect, immediate connect. But in addition to that, I'll also want to emphasize here that most of us, one of my panelists here said, we don't know why we were made to learn English, but we did. So we have to understand, and we all acknowledge certain languages, especially the foreign languages, and here in India, it's English. It's the language of opportunities. I did a paper a long time back, maybe 2010, 2011. It was a paper that I presented, and it was importance of English as a linked language. And at that time, back then, it was all over the news that in a certain village of Lakhimpur Kheri, they had a temple of Angrezi Devi Maya. The reason, because unless you concentrate that language with respect, people will not accept it, that it's the language of opportunities, of growth, and it opens up so many new vistas for you. So we all learned English. Our parents early on, they realized what is coming, and they made us learn. And today also, if in your Punjab, they emphasize that our children need to know English. Hindi hum ghar mein sikha lenge, Punjabi hum ghar mein sikha lenge, English sikha do, because they know that's the language of opportunities. For somebody who knows, I'll give you another example here, if you allow me.
One point I want to add is, like, okay, it may be a language of opportunity, but they force others to learn because they cannot. Yes, I feel like they are not able to teach them. That is why they are forcing them to teach. The second point which I want to add is if you go back to history, Sanskrit and Tamil were the
Oldest.
Yes, oldest.
Sanskrit is the oldest of language. Yeah.
No, Tamil is.
And mother of all
Tamil.
language. In fact,
No, no.
Sanskrit is the mother of all language.
Ma'am, Tamil is the oldest language in the world.
The only oldest and the oldest script language, which has a script. And English came later on. It was in recent 200 years where the English came on. Before that, it was only Sanskrit and Tamil where they had scripts, where only those scripts were being used, and that language were, to be used throughout. If you go to Sri Lanka, if you go to Singapore.
Totally agree with you, Meenakshi ma'am. If I can add to that, I totally agree with you. Those are the ancient languages. But today, any language is considered powerful because of the people who speak it. English is powerful today. 200 years back, it was powerful because of the British Empire that was ruling the entire world. And today, because of American domination, because of the MNCs that usually come, so that is the language of power. If the world power it topples, and we see Russia, in fact,
Yes.
my parents' time, when I was cleaning up my father's room, I found books for Russian languages. So during that time, maybe 60s or whatever, they were made to learn Russian as well because they could see opportunity there as well. So power comes, the language is considered powerful because of the politics, geopolitical setup that we see here. And yes, I am all for
May I add ahead? See, language is something which communicates, which attaches each other. Why we as human race have come ahead, because we have language where we can communicate to each other, we can solve problems. So that is a different thing that we are not solving, and war is still going on. But the language came up, and we as human race are above all other races. Correct? So yes, at one moment, English language was supposed to be the superiorest language, best language, but now it is not so. With NEP coming up, in my opinion, other languages will also get its importance, because we see a lot of dropouts after 10th and 12th. So second language understanding is more important, and there will be less of dropouts. I feel English, there was this kind of a confusion, or a brainwash kind of thing, that yes, English आनी जरूरी है, English आएगी तो ये अच्छा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, सारे languages important है. आप जापान में जाओ, आप जापानीज ही बोलो, चाइना में जाओ मैंडेरियन ही बोलेंगे. Like I have extensively traveled all around the globe. I was in Paris, no one speaks English.
Ma'am, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
I'll tell you, I had such a difficult task talking in Paris.
That's exactly what we need to understand, ma'am. Yes. You had difficult time, sorry, because there's no common language, and that is why a common language is important. One important thing in India, Hindi is our national language. But do you know English is our constitutional language? Yes. All laws are first written in English and then translated. So, and one more thing, if today I have to go to Chennai and मैं हिंदी में बात करूंगा तो ऑटो गाय विल मुझे गाली देगा.
Right? मैं एक बात यहाँ पर बताना चाहूंगी जो आप बता रहे हैं सर, उसी के संदर्भ में I was working with केंद्रीय विद्यालय in Bengal. And I had never looked at languages in that perspective. And there was one very senior colleague of mine, a Bengali, Mrs. Ghosh, and she said कि अगर 1911 में capital Calcutta से दिल्ली shift नहीं होता तो Bengali हमारी राजभाषा होती. Possible. Never looked at things in that way.
Possible. It is the power, ma'am. It
could be.
Absolutely.
Because of the power. So now what we need to understand, we are here to understand.
One small point where I agree with Bhavna ma'am, and ma'am, I didn't wait just a minute. I need to know ma'am's name. Nikita ma'am. Nikita. Where they both are correct in their own ways. The number one which we are here is not debating on English language.
Yes.
Exactly what I was saying.
This is what I was listening for so long, that a conversation is going on. Had shifted from language learning to history and geography and the globe and all. So I thought that I should listen first and then I should speak, because when the females are speaking, so the male people who are married actually, they cannot speak much over that. but I came back to my position that I am the moderator. I have to speak right now. We are talking about, see, when we are talking about the languages, and what I my views are. Everybody has his or own views. It is that we are had been or are living in cities, 2 tier or 3 tier cities. But when NEP or anything we are talking about the whole India. India is an agriculture country.
Correct.
Thousands and lakhs of villages are over there. There
Right.
are schools in remote areas, and there are so many states. Almost all the states where different regional languages are being spoken. Neither English nor Hindi is being used over there. There the
Agree. That's
teachers are
why.
also because of the environment, and maybe the teaching people, the staff, they don't know English or Hindi. So learning has to happen. That is why government wants that whichever language it is, the learning should go on pan India, because when we will get educated, 100% education will be there, it will become from a developing to a developed country for sure. So here the thing is, we are talking about language learning. It is not about only English language learning or Sanskrit or French or German or say Bengali or Marathi, whatever language it is. If language is not there, we will not be able to communicate with anyone of each other. That is the
I
most important
just
thing.
want to add one small point to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Here, you are correct. That is why NEP 2020 has been brought to bring a change into education system. From past so many years, from past 3 or 4 decades, what we are learning, what
Yeah,
we have brought. This is what the change is.
yeah. That other
Right
day, ma'am,
to education.
we were
Right
talking
to
to Indu
education.
Sharma, ma'am.
This
We
is
were
what.
talking to we were talking to Indu Sharma, ma'am. She's the principal there in Greater Noida in the school, and she was talking that they have an NGO where they are sending the books and material to the villages in Bihar, where the transportation goes up to a certain level. From that place, the things have to be carried to the villages where there is no transportation or there is no electricity even. So you see in the interior areas, in the villages also they have developed now, but there are thousands of villages till now where this infrastructure has not reached anywhere, and people are not liking people gradually there. Why are cities full? I mean, so much congested, because from villages people are moving up to the cities now. So that is a big problem. Learning is not happening over there. That is why NEP says that in any regional language it can be taught. It can be taught, should be taught is not there. That is there, ma'am. So we'll come up to the next question before that goes on more. Nikita, ma'am, will come up to you. It has
Yes.
always been seen, as it has been discussed right now also. What are the challenges of learning English as a second language when we talk about the remote area, especially?
Actually, see, first language and second language. I'll
Yeah,
talk when the student comes to an English school. He's admitted in English school. There, his language becomes first language as English. But
English.
at home, when he's talking, his first language is his mother tongue.
Mother tongue.
Yeah,
Yes. And here, English actually becomes his second language. So, English as second language comes with many challenges, especially in terms of pronunciation, context, cultural norms. All languages have their, ups and downs, and learning English may be daunting to many learners for many reasons. For example, if you're talking about rural areas, because they don't know the language, it's a new language for them to understand the objects and then connecting them in sentences. It is a Herculean task, and they do not understand it. So, for urban areas, I do understand. In metro areas, we speak in English, we connect. But for rural areas, it becomes little difficult because there are less of English speaking people, English speaking students. Like suppose madam just now said, in Punjab, if they say that English is compulsory, and they will definitely do. And there's a small village, ma'am did a research over there that some English Maya ki, I mean, something like that. So I do understand this is a language where we connect to each other, and we feel that yes, English is very important, and globally it can connect to us. And there is a big enthusiasm in learning this language. But as said, it is not easy. You have to go through a lot of challenges. Like for example, SEA and SEE, they both, we see that C. How do you pronounce it? So homonyms and heteronyms, that language barriers, socially isolation, and many other factors are there. Even a different type of education system, which this will confuse all the learners and deter them from making beneficial education decisions. It is compulsory. People want that my child should go in English
Medium school.
schools, definitely. But being the second language can be daunting. But we need to have proper teachers for making language little easy for the learners, and they should be well equipped, they should be well trained. As some time back we spoke about that, it is an important language which connects everyone to globally. Like sometime back we spoke about Russia, we spoke about the Americans, and yes, it will connect to us. There are, and it's not only English now. I think German or Spanish is also coming, a Mandarin. So that is also very important. But when we talk about English, it is important. And being a second language, there are many challenges. But I'll tell you one thing: try and try till you succeed. And we as principals, we ourselves have seen so many challenges among our own ecosystem. When we talk about our own school, I am situated in Mumbai, in Thane, and we have good parents. We have lawyers, educators, and doctors and engineers. They themselves say that, ma'am, hamare time alag tha. But we want our children to get the best. This COVID has taught us so much. So many students have already done courses, in language, and they want to go into humanitarian. They want to do journalism, and there is this. These are endless. So we, being the principal, we need to understand where the passion lies, and if there are any hurdles. Yes, English is the language. We are English medium school, and with NEP coming up, to comply with everything, the children should not suffer. Our students should
Yes.
not suffer. Correct?
Yeah, right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Lakbir ma'am. Lakbir ma'am, your views on this saying that what are the challenges of learning English as a second or a first language, whatever you can say.
Very well said, Nikita ma'am, and I'm totally agree with you. Pronunciation, obviously, there is a problem, common challenges for the children, those who are come up and learn English, and same time the spellings, because many words sound the same but have vastly different spellings. There can be a pair of people or a pair of like a fruit. They are pronounced the same but have different spellings. Means the spellings will also challenges for the newcomers and new learners. And the third common challenges we face and the students are facing like slangs. And fourth is fluent spoken English, because writing is the entirely different, and when we are speaking, then definitely we are speaking with entirely different, not a grammar. We are not generally speak with grammatical. So but learning English can be exciting, entertaining experience. A student will become better and better each day as he or she allow himself or herself to make mistakes and learn from them. Soon he and she, the students, will be a professional at writing, reading, and speaking English. But the challenges are common in all language, not only for the English.
English,
Other
yeah.
language, like if I want to learn Sanskrit, the same problem will I will face. Even if I learn another third language like Sanskrit and Hindi, some wants to learn Japanese, the same often problems we are facing. But yes, as an educationist, like Nikta ma'am says, that we have to come up with all the solution for the students and try to make them understand the things with the bilingual, with their native language, because this is the best way of NEP. When students learn a lot, and definitely we become a good educator again.
Yeah, perfectly right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Bhavna ma'am now. Bhavna ma'am, what are your views on the saying that technology makes language learning more easy? Ma'am, you are on mute.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Yes, technology plays a very important role today in language learning because, as we have seen earlier, whenever we learned a foreign language, we knew the word, we knew how to read it, the spelling and everything, but we were probably several of us went through life pronouncing the word the wrong way for years. And it's only with the advent of technology and getting exposed to international native speakers of the language that we came to realize that, okay, this is the right way of pronouncing it. So that's technology for us. Like these days, when we are interacting with children, even for nursery admissions, I'm amazed by the language of the children. The accent is different. There is such confident fluency. And I asked the parents, looking at the form, where are you from? Okay, you've been here all these years. Then how come the child is speaking like this? Then we come to know it's because of the videos that they watch. Could be the YouTube or could be some other OTT platform that they're watching. And it's from there that they are picking up the language, and that's very fluent. That's technology. And not just English. We're talking about other languages as well. Earlier, in all our schools, we were teaching foreign languages. If we taught German or if we taught French or if we taught Japanese, it was actually an Indian teacher in the classroom who was teaching these languages. Today, many of us, thanks to the technology, are able to bring online like in my own school, I'm able to get a native French speaker from Paris to do some number of classes for our children who are learning French. So because of technology, we all have gained immensely in terms of learning language. And earlier, if we needed to know the pronunciation, we used to ask this person or that person. Now we don't go anywhere. We just Google and look for the pronunciation and we know what it is. So that's what I feel. It has helped all of us immensely.
Amazing,
And
yeah.
Yeah, I'll also want to, this I came across 2 or 3 days back itself. As I said, we all know that certain foreign languages, and we are right now interacting in English. There is a reason why we are all discussing all this in English right now. So certain foreign languages, they are considered to be languages of opportunity. I know a certain, that's a distraction, my puppy. So there is a doctor that I know, a very successful doctor, but she feels that what she lacks is she's not able to express herself confidently and fluently in English. And today she does a course with somebody, she's here in Noida, but doing a course with somebody in Bombay, and they're teaching her English. That's again because of technology. Otherwise, for her at 9 in the night, not possible to go for a physical one-on-one face-to-face class, but online classes, they all are doing. We all are doing. And here itself, it's all online.
Yes,
it's technology.
yes. We all started up because of technology only, ma'am.
Yes.
You or me, whatever.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have been here on one screen together.
Obviously. Thank you so much, ma'am. Jaswinder sir, we are coming up to you now. Being an expert, you have heard all the eminent guests, had a lot of conversation in between also. So please, tell your views on this conversation, as well as let us know more about how these type of apps like Wordsworth, they help the children and teachers also.
So first of all, my most important point that I want to put up here is knowing more language is good. Go for it. English may be somebody else's language, but for us, it is a mode of communicating with the world. You go anywhere in the world. Yes, you go to Paris, they prefer French, right? That is why, though being a very advanced country, is not able to go to the next level. Germany, top in technology, in manufacturing, are not ruling the world, right? China, major problem is they can't communicate in English. What is it that gets given Indians the upper hand is the knowledge of how to communicate in a language which the world understands. So if you're looking at English as a language, more and more people should be able to communicate using it. One, that does not mean we undermine the other Indian languages. You can have multiple languages at the same time. One. Next is, if you really want to acquire a language, it is easy if you acquire it the way you acquired your mother tongue. You have to use the communicative method. You don't have to go through the rules and the definitions and all that. You simply start using, and one fine day you learn. When we acquired Hindi, we did not acquire it in a specific or a manner. It was by the way. So language is by the way. What you need to do is fall in love with language, have passion for languages. You will automatically get it. So what we do, we don't, I mean, there's nothing like rocket science that we do. We create language learning in, I mean, we create the software in such a way that it becomes easily palatable. We want people to feel comfortable with it. We want students to feel, wow, I can do it. We want them to feel excited. That's what you do. And there are so many different aspects of language which can be taken up when you use some of the other technology tools. So the whole idea is use a tool to be able to acquire language any time of the day, any place in the world, right? And within your privacy, right? Like we say, but it does not mean, I want to tell you one thing. If you want to go beyond a certain level, self-learning doesn't work, because language, you need another person to talk to you. So there should be a facilitator, there should be a peer group, and that's what you do. So language is acquired best if taught in a blended way, where there's a component with the teacher delivers using technology. So the teacher may not be the best, but the teacher using technology can deliver best, and then students get an opportunity to practice on their own within the privacy and using technology. So that's amalgamation, that together getting into it, using technology and human, using technology and self practice, using all these aspects, you do it. And one very important thing is, we are all saying that we want people to acquire good language skills. That includes the reading skills, which is actually going down day by day. And if you look at NEP 2020, it talks about research based learning. And where are you going to do research in Hindi? Your Google is not full of Hindi. Yes, one day will come that whatever you click, it'll be in Hindi translated. But till that time, at least acquire more languages, be good at English and work on that. So if I have to, sum it up, whatever language you acquire, acquire it without being scared. Acquire it in the natural learning form. Acquire it without bothering about grammar. हम में से कितनों को व्याकरण आता है? हम तो बोल लेते हैं हिंदी, कोई गलती नहीं निकलती. That means you need not go by the way. See, English was, we were made. I mean, the Britishers, when they left us, they said English was to be a language for the elite. But you know what William Wordsworth said? Language is not the property of the rich and the elite. It is the property of the common person. And what Britishers did, they didn't want the common person to understand English. That is why they brought the grammar into it. You don't need to do that. So what you do is acquire language the way you acquire any language which is local language. Acquire English that way. And if you do not have the right kind of people who can deliver, use technology, let those people deliver better, and let you practice the way you want. Simple. You don't have to make it a huge thing. It is not something which is difficult, provided you know how to go about it. So that is what I would want to sum up in a small
Amazing,
bit.
sir. Amazing, sir. Amazing. And ma'am, all of you will also agree with me that many times it's happened in schools till grade 8. You don't have any English teacher, so any teacher can teach English. So that is also a very, it's happening in the schools that any teacher can teach English. The teacher who is not knowing English herself, she will ruin the English of all the other students also. So basically, it came into my mind before starting up this season that one thing was there in my mind that should be taken care. The first thing was handwriting. I had been seeing that many branded schools have worked, and I've been seeing the lakhs of rupees the parents are spending on their studies. But the child way of holding the pen is so different, and writing is so bad that they are not working on their handwriting. In the beginning, they had, if have they worked for the handwriting of the children, the scenario had been very different. Likewise, when I met sir also, so when I went to the details of language learning, so it came into my mind that we all are running after the the syllabus and the subjects. We are not going for the basics, that is the language learning. If the language learning, whichever language it is not proper, the subjects will not get affected. That is why we are seeing gradually the boards or the NEP is going towards the critical thinking. That is why they have added up so many case studies into so many subjects. So that is why it is very important to have language learning before having the knowledge of the subjects. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to the next round now, and because we are in shortage of time now, a very short answer, 1 minute answer will be needing. I'll come up to Meenakshi ma'am. Meenakshi ma'am, it's not only, we say that it's not only about language learning, but it is also about learning the right thing with the best results. What are your views on this?
Uh, well, learning any language for any academic interest is incomplete if it is not done in a right way. So just like that, every language differs, so does the grammar, as the previous speaker said. And surprisingly, many languages share the common script. For example, if I say Devangiri and English, Devangiri comes with Hindi, Sanskrit, and Bengali, while English comes with the script of Latin, Spanish, and all European, languages. Some, common languages are with a very strong grammar, like Sanskrit and Tamil, and some are very general, neutral, like Persian, Bengali, and Assamese. So approach towards a language, new learning language, totally differ from tourist point of view, where they just want to learn the language or just need a translator for that. But it will also be eventually very different for a novelist or a filmmaker, where they have to, go into detail where the main essence of that language is. So the purpose defines the level of proficiency required. So anyone who wants to, excel needs to learn the right way, along with the, cultural aspects of the language and from the land where it has belonged to. That's my point of view, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Amazing answer. Very good answer, ma'am. We'll come up, Jajit ma'am. Your views on the same, ma'am.
I think Meenakshi ma'am has done the needful. She's already taken up everything which I wanted to share. Here I'll tell you, in my school, what I've done is I do not have any workbook or grammar book for English. Because I keep telling my English teachers, as and on, you go on with your chapters, with your literature, go on teaching them. What we do is at starting of the year, these are the things, maybe adjective, adverbs, all these things need to be taught to the children of any grade. So the teacher accordingly from the chapter, term wise, would teach. Because I always tell everybody, when people approach me, ma'am, we need to learn English. You can learn only if you think correctly. So the first part is we need to think in correct English. We do not have that confidence. But over here, I've seen many a time now, why kids, even adults feel hesitant when they need to speak in English. Why? Because they're scared that we galat bolenge. We may be wrong, and it would be very humiliating. The first thing we need to tell people is there's nothing wrong. Okay, you try at least. So this can be done from the primary, pre-primary classes itself. When they knowingly or unknowingly, they are saying a sentence and then we say, no, no. And I tell my teachers, don't say you're wrong here. Say, can we speak in this way?
Exactly.
It makes a lot of difference. And sir, you were saying that the handwriting again, it is the pre-primary classes when we make the children hold the pen or pencil. Those skills are taught to them there. The formation of the letter needs to be made at that time. Their love for the language needs to be inculcated or put in their blood, in their genes at that time itself. So we cannot do wonders when the child comes in grade 9. That is the time when, because what is in our mind is board exams. So the language is not good. You did not write this. Did we actually, when we go back to the those primary years or these pre-primary, did we actually pay stress on how they are speaking, how they are writing? But in board exams, I think we pay so much stress on correct English, language, everything. We give them everything when they are so stressed. Uski upar se we put this language stress also to them. So certain things
You're
we
absolutely
need
right.
to.
You're absolutely right, ma'am, because these things has to be taken in the early areas only. That
Yes.
if we are talking about handwriting or anything, but there too, ma'am, the parents, they don't, because the grade 12 student is writing like this, means basically from the root it has not been taken care of.
Yes.
Neither the school has taken care of, the teachers nor the parents have taken care. My child handwriting is very bad. I should speak about this to the school, or I should consult a handwriting expert. They don't want to. What exactly I want to say is, they don't go for handwriting experts, those who can help them out to help handle you. Some children are early learners, some are late learners also.
Yes.
So every child is a unique in himself. So maybe at this time that parents should have paid attention on these type of things. Firstly, about the handwriting, and basically when we come up to these type of grades 1-2 onwards, the language learning is very, very important.
One more point, sir. I think with handwriting, we do not give a question. Its answer is wrong, but the handwriting is good. We don't give them half mark for good handwriting.
Yes.
This is again one point. I feel that the parents feel, and then when you're talking about parents' contribution, they say school किस लिए भेजते, ma'am इतनी fees देते हैं. So it is, I
That
think
is,
it is
yeah,
the pre-primary kindergarten teachers' responsibility to make the children, the calligraphy need to be taught there itself, not in
yes,
the
ma'am.
higher grades.
No, on the higher grades for sure. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nikita, ma'am, are you there? Okay, we'll come up to Lagbir, ma'am. Lagbir, ma'am, what according to you are the benefits of learning more languages?
In my views, learning more languages is really a fun, enhance the knowledge of particular person. Here I am talking about top 10 benefits. Everybody knows, and sir already mentioned that we have connect with the people. If we learn more language, we connect with the more. We get more friendships. We get more society persons connected with us. And second, advance our career. It means language skills can be significant competitive advantage that sets our apart from monolingual peers. They are among the top 8 skills required of all occupations, no matter your sector or skill level. And the demand of bilingual professionals is rising at present. Everybody knows. And next benefit is feed your brain. Definitely, if we learn many languages, it's feed our brain. That the many cognitive benefits of learning language are undeniable. People who speak more than one language have improved memory, problem solving, and critical thinking skill, enhanced uh, concentrations and ability to multitasking, and better listening skills. They switch between competing tasks and monitor changes in their environment more easily than the monolinguals. And next benefit, we say deepen your connection to other culture. If we know more language, then we connect ourselves with the other cultures, and definitely it will upgrade and enhance our own culture, our own behavior, personality, everything. And we'll see the word learning a second language also opens additional door to opportunity for studying or working abroad for many of us. And definitely we go to the source, like if we know the language, individual proficients in other language are able to navigate the internet as a genuine global citizens, consuming and assessing foreign media and entertainment also. And another benefit I can say, become a polyglot. When you learn a new language, you develop a new brain networks that are primed and ready when you embark on learning a third language. And
Right.
definitely it's boost our confidence. The upsides is the amazing sense of accomplishment you will feel when conversing with someone in their native language. And yes, it strengthens our decision making. And
Right, ma'am.
second, lastly, I can say it's gain perspective. So these are common
Right, sir.
benefits
Right,
what
ma'am.
we
Right,
have.
exactly, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We'll come up to Bhavna, ma'am. Bhavna, ma'am,
Uh, uh,
they, yes, ma'am.
Sir, Chandok sir, before your question, if you allow me, I want to add something for
Sure.
Jasjeet ma'am. No, you said something about telling your teachers not to correct the children too far about the language learning. Otherwise, it snubs them. It's
No,
discouraging.
I told that it's yes. I told them immediately. Don't say, "Can we speak in this way? This looks better."
I
This
know,
is
I
what
know.
I told.
So,
Yeah.
ma'am, when you were telling about this thing, I was immediately reminded of something that I keep on reminding my teachers all the time and even the parents. And since we are all educators here, I will want to narrate this with Mr. Chandok's permission. I want to.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So, this is about Mirza Ghalib. Mirza Ghalib, he was in dire need of a job, and Bahadur Shah Zafar wouldn't appoint him as his ustad. So he applied to Nawab of Rampur, and Nawab of Rampur, he agreed to appoint him as his ustad. So those days, all Nawabs were very fond of doing shero shairi. So very enthusiastic Nawab. So Nawab of Rampur sent the script back to Mirza Ghalib, who was in Delhi. In the very first page, Mirza Ghalib did a lot of corrections, 15, 20 corrections on the very first page, and sent it back to Nawab of Rampur. So that was the end of his job. After that, Nawab of Rampur did not send back any more Shero Shairi for his opinion, and all enthusiasm was, cold water was poured over it. So that's what I keep on reminding the parents and the teachers. Check check the corrections if there are to be made, but do it in moderation. And I'm sure, like in most of the schools, they don't even use red pens these days, because that's very discouraging for a child to look at. Thank you, Mr. Chandok, for allowing me that. And
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to your question, ma'am. There's a saying that technology cannot replace the teachers, but can work as a tool to make learning more effective. Your views on this, ma'am?
Absolutely, sir. Any technology is only a teaching aid. It can never be a replacement for a teacher, at least not in the early years, the pre-primary and the primary. Technology can not 100% be a replacement for a teacher in those days. Later, if the children are in senior secondary stage and self-motivated, are at college level and do not need any motivation in person, it works very well for them. Like if I am, and if you all are doing a course these days with Harvard or Yale or Princeton or whatever, you don't need anyone to tell you to do that. Whenever it's self-paced, whenever you find time, you're self-motivated, you do it. But that doesn't work with little children, class 3 and 4 and 5. They need somebody, that physical touch is important, a teacher that holds their hand. They need that peer group interaction as well. So not just language learning, but any kind of learning with technology for the early years cannot be 100% replacement for an in-person teaching. And moreover, we have apps like Elsa and all these days. So with a child who is here in Delhi or some other parts of our country, or maybe some other parts of the world, the culture, that also is very important. Elsa, will that app talk about Jane and John, or will they talk about Jay and Vijay? And will they talk about pie and tarts, or will they talk about what we have here? So there'll be a kind of a disconnect, which we had earlier also faced, and that's why we started having textbooks and storybooks with Indian references, because somewhere the children who read them found a disconnect. So even if we use app, there has to be some local connect to be able to emotionally and culturally resonate with the children here. Thank you.
Amazing, ma'am. Amazing answer. Thank you so much, ma'am. Jaswinder sir, will come up to you, as you have heard all the eminent guests in this round also. We'd like to know your expert views on this, as well as please let us know about your Sanskrit lab and other languages which are added up to your language lab.
Yeah, thank you. So, sir, I will resonate what with ma'am said, that whenever you are acquiring a language, it should be culture specific. Very, very important. If we have to talk about skyscrapers, and यहाँ तो हम वो use करते ही नहीं है, we say buildings, tall buildings, right? We talk about muffins, यहाँ तो हम cupcake बोलते हैं. So yes, for a child to be comfortable, you need to have local connect with the language that you, especially when we are talking about English. For us now, English is not a foreign language. I'll tell you what is the difference between second language and foreign language. For Japanese, it's a foreign language. For Chinese, it's a foreign language because they don't get to hear of that. But today, if I am not able to communicate in English, I am not able to understand, but still I listen to a lot of English around me, that's a second language. So especially for a country like ours, where English has become a second language, culture is important because they need to connect with that. That's one. Second thing what I would say is that we've all been talking. Have you ever tried storytelling? And that way getting comfortable with language? If you expose students to stories in English, whether they understand or not in the beginning, slowly they'll start getting comfortable because their system gets in. And when you listen to a story, you start imagining. When you imagine, your vocabulary and everything falls in place. What you need to do is make them listen to a lot, make them read a lot, expose them to situations, do all these things. And that's exactly what we try to do with our app. Why are we successful? Why is it that 1 million kids in India use this program? Is because it is India specific. Because that's what you need to connect. Kahin to you need to be able to use it. You can't have vocabulary which is used in the other countries for things which we don't use here. So that's a very, very, very correct point which ma'am has put up, and I salute you for that. But that's very, very important that you put up that. Next is, from English, when we were doing that, we've got a project with Kendriya Vidyalayas. Ma'am, somebody said who was with KVs? Yeah, them. So Bhavna, ma'am, we got a project to implement our labs in 1100 KVs, and we've already done in 570 of them. The others are yet to be done because infrastructure is not there. So that's where the Ministry of HRD told us Sanskrit pe kaam karo. 4 years back, even before NEP had come on, we were asked to do it, and we spent around 3 to 4 years in developing Sanskrit lab. And when we started working on that, we realized it's a beautiful language. It's the most logical language. You don't have to worry. मैंने बहुत मार खाई है संस्कृत में अच्छा नहीं पढ़ के. But now when I say, oh, had it been exposed to us in this way, communicative way, things would have been very easy. हमें सीधा संधि पे ला दिया था, and संधि आज तक समझ नहीं आ रही संस्कृत में. Well, what you do is you need to expose them to different vocabularies and then start making smaller sentences and then go on to larger ones. That's what we do. And that's actually, I'll give you a beautiful thing about Sanskrit. You can frame a sentence the way you want. One example, if I have to say, my name is Jaswinder, how will I say? Mama Nama Jaswindara. But if I say Jaswinder Marma Nama, that's correct. Nama Jaswinder Mama is correct. Nama Mama Jaswinder is correct. Anyway, it's correct. So if you are able to know these things in language, you will actually would want to get more. Inquisitiveness gets you to the thing, and that's how you do. And that's exactly what we started working on with Sanskrit. And today, we are happy that 6th of August, there was a circular last year from CBSE that you will have to have introduce communicative Sanskrit and communicative English in 9th and 10th. And that's where it started working on it. And we're very happy that we worked on it. And now we're looking at other languages. So Hindi, we are already doing. We're doing Gujarati, we're doing Tamil, we're doing Telugu, we are doing Bengali. That's how I started picking up certain parts of this thing. So Tamil, I would say Sapad is something that I would love to have. Meenakshi ma'am, suppose you are in Chennai right now, right ma'am? Right? So getting to know different words of a particular language and then build out the sentences around that vocabulary, and that's how you work in, and that's how we got our Hindi, right? So what we say is, when we look at any language, may it be English or Chinese or Mandarin or German or Telugu or anything, pick up a sentence, revolve around it, pick another one, revolve around it, and that's how you build up. That base word concept that can be used in all languages. That's what we say is what should be done. And that's exactly what we've been doing. And I'm happy that it is working with people. It removes this fear of, acquiring a new language. And that's the first thing. Remove the fear. That's what I would say.
Amazing, sir. Wonderful
Jaswinder,
work.
sir,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
a
ma'am.
little curious. I want to know about this Sanskrit lab. Like, what is the objective? Do we want children to be conversing fluently in Sanskrit when they go to these labs and do this program?
Okay. Yeah. So the whole idea of getting to know Sanskrit is, one is your brain starts thinking logically, right? If I say bhavna, if there are BHAVANA in English, but अगर संस्कृत में भावना है तो क्यों एक ब के बाद भ है व है न है, उसका भी एक लॉजिक है उसके बाद. So Sanskrit, any word, the spellings, the letters are also arranged in a way which are logical. So if you start understanding Sanskrit, speaking Sanskrit, your mind becomes very, very logical. So that's the first thing. Second, we've got such a lot of cultural heritage, got such of knowledge which is in the scriptures, which Germans are getting hold of and we are not doing it. That's the second thing. Third, ma'am, nationalistic feeling aati hai. Somewhere you feel proud of it, that this is among the best of the languages, mother of all languages, right? So that's why they are pushing it. It is not saffronizing of
No.
education.
I'm myself a Sanskrit enthusiast, and right now I'm reading Chanakya Niti as well. So I was a little curious to know what is the objective, like conversation
is a part,
like speaking skills or
reading skills and comprehension. That's all very much, because we will have to go through those scriptures. There are such a lot of things that we don't even know.
Agree.
That's why, ma'am.
Lagbir ma'am, you wanted to say anything? Yes, ma'am. Lagbir ma'am. Ma'am, you're on mute, I think. You're not audible. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just adding one thing, that in a computer language, everybody is going forward with a binary, but the binary language is also developed from the Sanskrit,
Yeah.
that everybody knows. So that the technology also depends upon the Sanskrit, and even the oldest language is Sanskrit. That is why now our Indian government also thinking in the NEP that why not we have to improve and enhance the knowledge of Sanskrit among our own children. That is the main motive of to promote the language.
Right. Absolutely right, ma'am. Jaswinda sir will say on this something. Ma'am said, Kate is
But
a
that's
computer language.
absolutely correct, because see, when you use technology using chips, all you can have is on and off, and that's where 0 and 1, and that concept has come from Sanskrit.
Obviously.
That's she's absolutely correct on that point.
Right, sir. I mean, apps like the Wordsworth and all, they are helping such a lot of students. You are working up with more than 3,000 schools and universities, sir, as you told us, and we know, because wherever I'm reaching and come to know that you are associated with these schools pan India and throughout the world also. All the best to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Coming up to the last part of the program, a very secret one. It is still now for you that before departing, everybody has to sing two lines. It may be devotional, it may be religious, it may be filmy, it may be in any language, written language. So whoever had been the first participant has to speak and has to sing two lines first. Meenakshi ma'am, any two lines, ma'am. Everybody has to sing one by one, ma'am, and nobody's a good singer here. This is a
No,
permanent
but I,
dialogue with all the principals.
I
Jasprit
will
ma'am is
start.
putting her hands up, so we can go with Jasprit ma'am first. I'll sing that. Let me just think what I'm just thinking on what
Okay.
to go to
Should I
that.
start, sir? Should I
Sure,
start?
sure, ma'am, sure.
From my side, I just sing two lines. It's a filmy song, but
Yeah.
yes, it's from the heart. Because of your platform, we are here, and as an educationist, the meaning of these two lines is entirely different for me. And the song is ये लम्हे ये पल हम बरसों याद करेंगे ये मौसम चले गए तो हम फरियाद करेंगे तुमको याद करेंगे. And for me it's like if I am not existing, then definitely many of hearts I'll be still there.
Uh, Amazing, ma'am, amazing. Nikita ma'am, I think you should take over now.
Yes, I am ready.
Yeah,
Sare
that's great.
ke sare gama
Kama
kole
kole
एक गाते
gate
चले.
chale. I'm not a very good singer, but I love this song. And let's all stay together, stay connected. One more song I would like to. This is a prayer we take in our school. That is Sangjatvam Sangadatvam Sangumanadija. That means we all are together, and Vasudeva Kutumbakam is what I believe in. Back to you, sir.
Very well.
Great, ma'am.
I'm not a good singer, but I'll try.
Ma'am, you
हंसते हंसते कट जाए रस्ते, जिंदगी यूं ही चलती रहे, खुशी मिले या गम. कोविड आ गया था, बदलेंगे हम. So this was resilience. We accepted Zoom. दुनिया चाहे बदलती रहे. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Meenakshi ma'am, I hope you're ready now. After that, Bhavna ma'am will.
I'm not a good singer, but yes, I'll speak one prayer that I usually sing for my 5-year-old kid. As was been reminded, by what Bhavna ma'am told me that, technologies cannot take over the human touch. It's exactly the same happening in my house also. He's 5-year-old and he's always after Alexa. This is there, Alexa, that is there. So that is how he gets his things done. But once the COVID was over and he went to school again, that human touch, you know, which was lacking, that was being done. And it's an amazing thing that AI cannot replace human. So, which I sing for my son is Damodar Ashtak. I don't know how many, I usually sing for him when he sleeps or when he gets up for the prayer. It's like where we call small Kana to the mother is calling small Kana. So his name is also Krishna. So I call him in that way where Namami Sharan Sachidananda Rupam Lasakula Damodaram Yakevacha Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. So it's like where your naughtiness is there, mummy is there. So please come back to mother. It's like that. Sorry if I have not sounded.
Wonderful, Meenakshi ma'am.
Bhavna ma'am, your turn now, please.
A disclaimer in the beginning itself, I'm also not a good singer, but I'm an enthusiastic singer. So in the school assembly, I sing full-throated along with my children.
Oh,
So
great.
because I'm an enthusiastic singer, not a good singer. I'll try. जिंदगी के सफर में गुजर जाते हैं जो मुकाम वो फिर नहीं आते वो फिर नहीं आते.
Fantastic. Fabulous, ma'am. Fabulous.
Wonderful.
Amazing, wonderful, wonderful. We had a wonderful evening today connecting with you. We all are hassled with all the school work, running back from almost all of us came out running from the school and joining the session and saying sorry to each other, although all of us were almost late till 5 o'clock. Because this is the high time. Closing चल रही है भाई, हमारी भी closing चल रही है. ऐसा नहीं है कि business की closing चलती है, हमारी भी closing चलती है. Many things are going on all parallelly. Right.
Yes,
And I always say, ma'am, I always say that we are all genies. We principals are genies. We have to keep our smiling face. Any of the stakeholder calling us, okay, kya hukum hai mere haqqa, what has to be done? And again, we have to in the evening time also, after getting so much tired, we are singing and having happy faces. And we should impart with this only with the happy faces. Thank you all of you, and thank you so much for joining. Hope to see another session again with a wonderful event. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you, Lagbir ma'am. Thank you, Bhavna ma'am. Thank you, Chandra sir, Nikita ma'am, and Jasdeep ma'am.
Everybody stay connected.
Thank you so
Sure,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Sure,
sir.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Pleasure
Take
meeting you
care.
all.
Bye.
Thank you
Knowing
so
you
much.
all.
Thank you.
Same here,
Bye.
ma'am.